What's up, guys? Today, we're diving into the top 5 cheapest used cars to buy in 2025, all under 10 grand and shockingly reliable. Stick around till the end because some picks here look cheap but hit way above their class. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your guess for which car takes the #1 spot. Number 5. The Honda Fit, 2009 to 2013. The Honda Fit from 2009 to 2013 kicks off this list because it's one of those cars that looks tiny, looks basic, and then surprises you in almost every way. This thing is the definition of a budget warrior. Cheap to buy, cheap to run, and cheap to fix, which is basically the holy trinity for anyone trying to get a reliable used car under 10 grand without having to sell a kidney later. And don't let the small size fool you. The Fit is like one of those magic trick boxes where the inside looks way bigger than the outside. Honda's magic seat setup makes this thing absurdly practical. You can fold seats flat, flip them up, and suddenly a tiny hatchback is carrying bikes, furniture, groceries for a family of 5, and whatever else life throws at you. When you're shopping on a tight budget, cargo flexibility matters more than people admit. Now, let's talk price without dropping links or numbers you can't check. Generally, the 2009 to 2013 Fit sits comfortably under $10,000 in most used car markets, especially cars with higher mileage. Even well-kept units tend to sit way below that mark, which is why it's so attractive. And here's the twist. Even when they've got 6 figures on the odometer, a lot of these Fits still run smoother than cars half their age. Honda just built these things to last. They're like golden retrievers of the car world, loyal, dependable, and always ready to go. Performance? Well, nobody's pretending this thing is fast. This is the kind of car that would lose a drag race to a Prius with a flat tire. But honestly, that's not why it's on the list. The Fit shines in the places that matter for the price range. Great fuel economy, simple mechanics, and way fewer surprise repair bills compared to many other cheap used cars. Oil changes, brakes, filters, basic suspension, all affordable. And because the engine is small and efficient, it sips fuel like it's trying to save your wallet on purpose. But let's keep it real. Not everything is perfect. A good chunk of Fits on the market have been driven hard by college students, young commuters, or city owners who treat parallel parking like a contact sport. So you absolutely need to inspect the suspension, hear for weird rattles, and check for worn bushings or tired shocks. You should also check the ignition system, as coil packs and spark plugs are common wear items on high-mileage Hondas. Higher mileage models might show wear on the AC system clutch or coil packs, which is normal, but worth checking. And because the car is light and narrow, long highway trips in heavy wind will remind you that this is, at the end of the day, still a small hatchback. Still, the Fit has one massive advantage over most cars under 10 grand. It's predictable. It doesn't break in weird ways. It doesn't leave you stranded out of nowhere. It doesn't surprise you with 4-figure repairs when all you asked for was a simple fix. And even when something does wear out, parts are easy to find and usually inexpensive. Its resale value stays stable too, meaning you won't just watch your money disappear. If you're on a tight budget and you want a car that basically says, look, I'm not fancy, but I'll get the job done, the Honda Fit 2009 to 2013 is that car. It's practical, reliable, wallet-friendly, and way more capable than its size suggests. Not glamorous, not fast, but absolutely one of the smartest buys under $10,000 in 2025.
Number 4. Kia Soul, 2013 to 2017. Sliding into number 4 is
Number 4. Kia Soul, 2013 to 2017. Sliding into number 4 is the Kia Soul from 2013 to 2017, a car that looks like a toaster, drives like a happy little puppy, and somehow became one of the most dependable budget rides you can buy under 10 grand. Seriously, the Soul is one of those cars that people love to joke about right until they drive one and realize, wait, this thing is actually kind of good. It has that mini crossover vibe without trying too hard, and the boxy shape gives you way more space than the outside suggests. You can haul friends, gear, groceries, or a full weekend's worth of camping junk, and the Soul just shrugs like, yeah, throw it in. One of the biggest reasons the Soul made this list is the value. These things tend to be priced surprisingly low, and for anyone hunting used cars in 2025, that's gold. Even with higher mileage, the Soul is usually sitting comfortably under $10,000, and unlike some cars in that price range, it doesn't feel like it's on its last breath. A lot of owners say the Soul stays solid well past 150,000 miles, as long as you don't ignore basic maintenance. And because Kia improved a lot around this time, especially on reliability and build quality,
The 2013 to 2017 generation is considered the sweet spot before prices jump up. Driving the Kia Soul is a funny experience. It's not fast, let's be honest. If you try to drag race anything even remotely sporty, you'll lose before the countdown ends. But the Soul isn't meant for that. It's meant to be fun, light, easy, and surprisingly smooth around town. Visibility is excellent thanks to the tall windows, and the ride position feels more like a mini SUV than a hatchback. That alone makes a lot of people pick it over traditional small cars. And when you're on a budget, comfort matters more than horsepower. Maintenance is another win for the Soul. Parts are usually affordable, and most mechanics can work on Kias without issues. However, this is where you need to be very careful. The 2013 to 2017 engines, especially the 1.6 and 2.0-liter options, must be approached with caution. These GDI, or gasoline direct injection engines, are famous for oil consumption and in some cases catastrophic engine failure due to rod bearing issues, which led to a massive class action lawsuit and recalls. If you are buying one of these, you absolutely must verify all maintenance records and check the VIN, vehicle identification number, to ensure any applicable engine recall or software update has been performed. The only real watch-out is that some Souls can burn a little oil as they get older, so you'll want to keep an eye on the dipstick. But compared to some other cars in the cheap used car jungle, this is minor stuff. Interior quality is surprisingly decent for a budget ride. The dashboard layout is simple, controls are easy to reach, and there's enough headroom inside to make even tall passengers say, "Okay, I'm actually comfortable in here." Because the Soul doesn't try to be fancy, nothing inside really ages badly. It's simple, it's durable, it works. But what really makes the Soul stand out in this price range is the personality. Most cheap cars look boring. They feel boring. They drive boring. The Soul, on the other hand, has charm. It's weird, it's boxy, it's kind of funky. You won't look rich driving it, but you also won't look like your life is falling apart, which is a nice balance when you're shopping the under 10K category. Bottom line, the Kia Soul 2013 to 2017 is one of the smartest buys for anyone who wants a cheap, reliable, and surprisingly spacious car without going full minivan or tiny hatchback, provided you do your due diligence on the engine history. It's quirky, dependable, affordable, and holds up way better than people expect. It's not a performance machine, but for daily use and practicality, it punches way above its weight. If you want something under 10 grand that won't make you cry later, the Soul absolutely deserves its spot on this list.
Number 3, Subaru Impreza, 2010 to 2014. Taking the number 3 spot is the Subaru Impreza from 2010 to 2014, a car that has one huge advantage compared to almost everything else under 10 grand, all-wheel drive. And not the cheap, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't kind. Subaru's AWD is legit. This is the car you want when the weather hates you, the roads are trash, and you just need something that grips the ground like it's holding on to its last paycheck. For anyone living in snowy states, rainy climates, or places where the roads go from smooth to pothole hell in 2 seconds, the Impreza hits a sweet spot you normally can't touch at this price. The big surprise with this generation is how affordable it actually is. Despite having AWD, despite having Subaru's reputation, and despite being genuinely useful year-round, the 2010 to 2014 Impreza usually slips under the $10,000 ceiling without a fight. Even clean units, well-maintained ones, often land in the budget zone because of one famous issue everyone talks about: the potential for head gasket failure on 2011 and older models, and oil consumption on 2012 and newer models. Let's be real, Subarus of this era aren't saints. Some burn oil, some don't, but here's the trick. If you find one whose owner actually checked the oil regularly, changed it on time, and treated the car right, you get a fantastic deal. If the owner didn't, well, you'll smell the smoke before you sign the paperwork. Driving the Impreza is interesting because it feels planted in a way cheap cars almost never do. You're not going to win drag races. This thing is slower than your grandma's Buick trying to climb a hill with a trunk full of bowling balls. But it's stable, confident, and surprisingly comfortable. The steering feels tighter than most cars in this budget, and the ride quality is great for daily driving. And because it's AWD, you don't have to panic every time you see rain or light snow. It's like the car whispers, "Relax, I got this," even when the road looks like a skating rink. The hatchback version? Even better. It turns the Impreza into this practical, go-anywhere grocery hauling adventure box. You can pack luggage, gear, sports stuff, dogs, kids, or all of the above. Subaru people love to brag about how much they can fit in these things, and honestly, they're not wrong. The sedan version is still solid, but the hatchback is where the magic happens. Now, maintenance is the part where you need to pay attention. The Impreza isn't a buy it, ignore it, hope for the best kind of car. Regular oil changes are non-negotiable. Cooling system checks matter. Timing components need to be handled on schedule. Specifically, if you were looking at the 2010 and 2011 models, which use the EJ engine, you must confirm the head gaskets were replaced or budget for that costly repair. The good news is, when maintained properly, these engines last a long time, and replacement parts aren't crazy expensive. The AWD system itself is strong and rarely problematic if treated right. And because Subarus have a huge community, it's easy to find information, tips, and enthusiasts who know every quirk of this generation. Interior quality is simple but solid. The seats are comfortable, the layout is straightforward, and visibility is better than most compact cars. It won't feel luxurious, but you won't feel miserable either. This is one of those honest cars. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. Where the Impreza shines is versatility. You get year-round traction, good space, decent fuel economy for AWD, strong reliability when maintained, and a price tag that fits almost any used car budget. No wonder so many people pick these up as first cars, winter cars, commuter cars, or family backup vehicles. If you're shopping under $10,000 and you want a car that doesn't freak out at the first sign of bad weather, the Subaru Impreza 2010-2014 absolutely earns its spot. It's not the fastest, not the flashiest, but it's dependable, practical, and way more capable than the competition in this price range. Just check the oil and the maintenance history for the head gaskets, treat it right, and it'll take care of you for years.
Number 2, Honda Accord, 2010 to 2012. Rolling into number 2 is the Honda Accord from 2010 to 2012, the car that practically defines buy it and forget about it. If reliability had a face, it would be the Accord. If dependability had an anthem, the Accord would be singing it. This thing has been a bestseller for so long that it's basically the default answer for anyone who wants a used car that just works. And in the under $10,000 market of 2025, the Accord is still one of the safest bets you can make without accidentally buying something your mechanic will send you birthday cards for. The 2010 to 2012 generation is the sweet spot. New enough to feel modern, old enough to drop comfortably into the cheap used car territory. You get that classic Honda mix of sturdy build quality, low maintenance needs, and a reputation that's so good it's almost boring. But boring is beautiful when you're talking about a car you actually have to depend on every day. The Accord is the kind of car that will take you to work, take you on road trips, carry your stuff, and still ask, "That all you got?" It's not flashy, but it's the kind of quiet confidence you want when your money is tight. One of the biggest reasons the Accord ranks this high is longevity. These engines, especially the 2.4-liter four-cylinder, are famously bulletproof. People run them past 200,000 miles, and they still idle smoother than cars half their age. Even the V6 is legendary, though it drinks a bit more gas. But for staying under 10 grand, the four-cylinder models are the sweet spot. They're cheaper, easier to find, and easier to maintain. Just a quick heads up, the 2008-2012 V6 models with the automatic transmission are known to have transmission issues. So if reliability is your only priority, stick to the four-cylinder engine with the automatic or manual. Driving the Accord is a pleasant surprise, especially when you remember this is technically a budget pick. It's not fast, but it's not slow either. It's got enough power to merge onto the highway without praying for divine intervention. The ride is smooth, the handling is tighter than most cars in this price category, and the cabin feels grown up. If the Honda Fit from earlier feels like a college student, the Accord feels like the older brother who actually has his life together. And speaking of the cabin, the interior quality for this generation is one of the reasons the Accord aged so well. The materials don't fall apart, the controls all still make sense, and even the base models feel more polished than a lot of newer cheap cars. There's enough space for families, tall drivers, road trip warriors, or anyone who wants comfort without luxury car problems.
Everything is simple, durable, and designed with common sense, something the car industry seems to forget every few years. Now, let's talk maintenance. This is where the Accord destroys the competition. Parts are everywhere. Labor is cheap. The common issues are predictable and easy to fix. You check the brakes, change the oil, watch the suspension bushings as the car gets older, and you're good. And because the Accord is one of the most popular used cars in America, you'll never struggle to find a mechanic who knows what they're doing. It's practically impossible to buy one of these and not immediately find a YouTube tutorial on how to fix anything for $20 and a Saturday afternoon. Are there warnings? Sure, every used car has them. High mileage units might need attention to the power steering pump, engine mounts, or AC system, depending on how the previous owner treated it. But compared to most cars under 10 grand, these are tiny issues. What really matters is this: the Accord holds up, even when it's old, even when it's been used hard, even when it's on the cheap end of the used car listings. Bottom line, the Honda Accord 2010 to 2012 takes the number 2 spot because it checks every box that matters. Reliable? Yes. Affordable? Yes. Comfortable? Yes. Able to keep going long after other cheap cars have given up and moved to automotive heaven? Definitely. If you want a car under 10 grand in 2025 that gives you peace of mind without sacrificing practicality, the Accord is one of the best deals out there.
Number 1. Toyota Corolla, 2009 to 2013. Taking the crown at number 1 is the Toyota Corolla from 2009 to 2013, the undisputed king of cheap, reliable used cars. If the Honda Accord is the responsible older brother, the Corolla is the peace-loving monk who will outlive everyone in the family. This car has one mission: keep running. No drama, no surprises, no midlife crisis, no check engine light showing up like a toxic ex. Just pure, dependable transportation at a price that's almost embarrassing considering how long these things last. The reason the Corolla lands at the top spot is simple. It's the safest blind purchase under 10 grand in 2025. You could literally close your eyes, randomly pick a 2009 to 2013 Corolla, and there's a very high chance it will start every day, drive like it's supposed to, and cost you almost nothing in repairs. People drive these cars until the wheels practically fall off, and then somehow the Corolla still manages to roll home. It's the kind of car that will survive bad roads, bad weather, bad owners, bad maintenance, and bad decisions. If the apocalypse happens tomorrow, cockroaches and Toyota Corollas will be the last thing standing. What makes the 2009 to 2013 generation special is its perfect balance between simplicity and durability. The engine is basic, proven, and incredibly forgiving. The transmission isn't fancy, but it's rock solid. The electronics are minimal, which is a huge bonus when you're buying cheap used cars. Fewer electronics means fewer things to break. This is the car engineers design when the goal is never call a mechanic unless absolutely necessary. Driving the Corolla is exactly what you expect. Calm, predictable, and surprisingly smooth for such a basic machine. You're not buying it for performance. 0 to 60 feels like watching molasses drip off a spoon, and if you try to race anything faster than a lawnmower, you'll finish last. But the Corolla doesn't care. Its job is not to impress anyone. Its job is to keep going and going and going. And for everyday commuting, it nails the assignment perfectly. Quiet cabin, light steering, comfy seats, and fuel economy that makes your bank account breathe a little easier. Inside, the Corolla keeps things simple and user-friendly. This isn't a luxury car, but nothing feels cheap in a bad way. The materials age well, the controls are logical, and everything is built with long-term durability in mind. Even base models feel steady and well put together. You get just enough tech to make life convenient without dealing with the big, expensive electronic failures that plague modern cars. Maintenance is where the Corolla absolutely obliterates the competition. This car is the definition of basic upkeep only. Oil changes, filters, brakes, that's it. As long as you don't actively abuse it, the Corolla rarely asks for anything. Even big repairs, when they do show up, cost less than they should. And because the Corolla is everywhere, parts are everywhere. Mechanics know every bolt,
Every sensor, every quirk. It's practically impossible to find someone who doesn't know how to fix a Corolla. Now, let's get real. Not everything is perfect. Some of the cheaper listings out there will be beat up, high mileage, scratched, dented, or clearly owned by someone who treated the car like a moving trash can. But even those usually still run fine. That's the crazy part. A Corolla with 200,000 miles still feels more trustworthy than some cars with 80,000. And because they're so common, you can afford to be picky when shopping. There are tons of options out there. Bottom line, the Toyota Corolla 2009 to 2013 sits at number 1 because it's the ultimate combination of price, reliability, low maintenance, fuel efficiency, and long-term peace of mind. If you're buying a cheap used car in 2025 and you want something that simply won't let you down, the Corolla is the safest bet in the entire market. It might not excite you, but it won't disappoint you. And when your money is limited, that's exactly what you want.
So tell me, would you actually buy any of these under 10K Warriors, or are you running the other way? Which one shocked you the most today? Drop a comment, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next list of budget legends.